Yeah, thank you, Paul. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much for inviting me at today's CMIP Seminar series. My name is again Kazumi Kabota from Japan, and I'm based in Shimonoseki City University in Japan. And I also I have a dual appointment at the University of Tokyo University Hospital. Today, I will share the key ideas from a post-climate paper recently I wrote, named From Awareness to Action, a three-level CMIT-aligned roadmap, decarbonize and climate-proof Japan healthcare sector. Let me put the talk in a simple question. CMIP is moving forward for more regular updates. So how can healthcare actually use the reason? Because healthcare has to do two tough jobs at the same time. Keep people safe from climate risk and cut its own emissions. My message is we can move faster if we follow practical sequences, education, measurement, and incentives, and we line up with the CMIP contents. Sorry. Yeah. So just a short background on why I'm speaking about this. I'm a professor in Shimonoseki City University, located on the west part of Japan, and working of data science and implementations. I also work at the University of Tokyo Hospital in healthcare information management. And I'm a fellow at HGPI, which is a think tank in Japan, in focus on health policy. So, my basic approach is a practice and policy and data implementation and evaluation, and translating evidence into routines, governance, and incentives. And I often travel between Tokyo and Shimonoseki about 4 and 5 hours by bullet train. So I'm always asking, does this work is top centers, or can it work in a regional setting too? So this slide shows some of my recent work, not only climate health, global health policies, digital health governance, and focused on education and a few other areas. But today I want to stay focused on one practical point: how to close the gap between awareness action in healthcare. So I'm not presenting a new climate model today. I'm presenting an implementing pathway, a way made climate information enabled in every healthcare decisions. So, what is the problem we're trying to solve? Healthcare has a dual mandate. First, health system must protect patients and communities from escalating climate hazards, such as heat, drought, storms, supply chain shock, and shifting infection risks. At the same time, healthcare must reduce its own emissions. In addition to this, healthcare accounts for 4 to 5% of global GHG emissions, largely driven by supply chains. Now, Why am I talking about CMIP here? Because climate data is becoming more usable for real decisions. CMIP is evolving from one-off assessment datasets to a more regularly updated data infrastructures. Uh, sorry, more more regularly updated data for decision making, and that makes a simple, practical link possible. A neural extension of historical focusing can supply operating the triggers, like when to activate heat health actions or when to raise readiness for disruptions. And 5 years update aligned with processes like a global stock take can refresh assumptions for capital planning, electrification, storage, microgrids, and planning to compose the event. So the key word is contents. If climate data update becoming more regular, healthcare can update its routines in the same rhythm. This repeats at the point, so I'll keep it short. I'm not saying CNIP should not run hospitals. I'm saying CNIP can support the rhythm for the better decisions. Annual update help with operations. 5 years update help with the planning and epistemology. That rhythm is a bridge between climate science and healthcare management. So, why Japan? And what do we see? HGPI, one of my institute, surveyed 180 uh, 152 organizations, healthcare sector organizations in late 2025, academic societies, professional associations, and industrial groups. Many responses came from presidents and senior leaders, so it reflects organizational positions. The pattern is very clear. Awareness is high. It means most agree climate change affected health. But how to? Knowledge is limited in Japan, especially about concrete adoption and mitigation measures. And action is still now. Many academic societies expert know continuing education and so formal measures. So the barrier is not denial. The barrier is the practical readily leaders often lacks of a simple, low burden playbook. That's why I can call Japan is implementation frontier. The awareness is already there. Now we need a realistic path to routine action. Now roadmap level 1 is education. So education have to fit busy schedules. So I propose short modules such as 15 and 30 minutes built into continuing professional development. And it should feel critically relevant, not abstract. Heat illness, continuity planning for extreme event, climate-sensitive infections, and feasible low-carbon clinical choices like anesthetic gases were appropriated. Also, simple governance basics, what leaders are responsible for. Academic societies and professional bodies can scale this quickly by approving certain curricula, linked it to exam or accreditation, and making hybrid meeting normal. One more point, education also prepares people for the next step, measurement, because of the build common understanding of trust. Level 2 is measurement. We will know the line we can manage, we don't know measure, but but in healthcare, measurement is too complained and simply won't happen. So we start with 1 year minimum variable set and improve over time. These 10 items cover the basic electrical, fuels, analysis gases, neutral oxides, imaging analysis, waste level, business and hyper purchasing, and renewable electric share and resilience assets. So level 3 is incentives. So education and measurement help, but real implementation spread up only when incentives so line up. Procurement to one of strong lever, starting high impact categories as to environmental declarations or waste declarations, disclosures, and when options is climate equivalent, prefer low carbon choices. Now let me connect the back to CMIP in the very practical ways. This key concept is translation layers. So very difficult slide, so please refer to my paper on the you can access to the URL on the top of my slide. So sorry, lack of the presentation time. So let me close with take home points. First, healthcare providers low burden pass from awareness action. Second, education and measurement increasing can deliver real progress in 12 to 36 months. Third, CMIP move toward regular update makes routine operationalizations realistic. So Japan has a large awareness to action gap, and routine to CMIP can this in one pragmatic way to close it. So this is my last slide is actually thank you for very much for your attention. Personal note is finished. Last week we celebrated my daughter's 8 years milestone when she became an adult, and 4 generations after her. I want them to inhabit the world that is still safe and sustainable. For that, we need strong climate science. And I truly welcome collaboration, and I'd like to work together. Yeah. The indication trigger on implementation cases studies, please feel free to contact me and email address and title slide. Thank you. Thank you very much for your attention.